Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the newest episode of Road to Indy TV. I'm your host, Tony Laporta.
And I'm Rob Howden.
This weekend, the Road to Indy reaches home. Indianapolis, Indiana, and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yeah, the world's greatest race course. Again, the fantastic city, Indianapolis, always embraces racing. We're here on the road course, Tony. This is going to be a fantastic weekend. A challenging racetrack, very technical.
It's the month of May, and we're in Speedway. On today's episode, I get to know Michael D'Orlando a little bit better over some bricks here at the Brickyard, and Rob sits down with the boys from Yukos Racing.
The primary mandate of the Mazda Road to Indy has always been to try to develop drivers and move them up the ranks of the Verizon IndyCar Series. But in recent years, it's not just been for drivers, it's been for engineers, mechanics, and team owners as well. We've got Ricardo Juncos here, and Ricardo, you came in the Pro Mazda level. Then you went to Indy Lights, and then finally here you are in the Verizon IndyCar Series. The Road to Indy obviously working for you as well. Do you look back sometimes over the last, let's say, year and a half since you built a new facility in Speedway and kind of pinch yourself and wonder how you got here?
Sometimes, and obviously being here is huge. It's the best you can imagine to be, right? And I don't have actually an answer myself. It's just working every day and eventually opportunities showing up, and that's how we move on. And like you said, we start from very beginning, Pro Mazda since 2009, and we're still doing this. Indy Lights, then 2015, and last year IndyCar, only to driver 500, which was a big deal, and now almost a full-time team, so which is very, very good, and yeah, it kind of sounds crazy, but
you know what I want to go into? Because I think what's key about your team, and I think it's different than a lot of other teams, is that you guys really are a family unit, aren't you not? You just had this, everybody's so close together. When you moved up a level, everybody still stayed very close together. Even you now, as a Verizon IndyCar Series team owner, you're on pit lane when your Pro Mazda drivers are racing. There's that connection there. You hold everybody together. I think that's an interesting aspect of your program.
Probably it is, and I remember in go-kart times I have this big lunch that we cook barbecue Argentinian style for everybody, and I have to be everybody. So we take the time for the driver, for father, parents, the team. Last night I finished 2 in the morning. I was helping my brother with the gearbox in Pro Mazda, and I don't care. That's never gonna stop. And I think probably it's a reason why, but I think it's a little bit of everything. You gotta be lucky as well. I was so lucky, and this country opens the doors, and you know I won't be able to do what I did here in any other country, to be honest. So I'm obviously very happy here.
I think Ricardo Juncos, a poster boy as well for the team aspect of this program, being able to leverage every step all the way up the ranks.
So it's time for another segment of Drivers versus Tony. This weekend, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the famed Yard of Bricks, and Lego Bricks race car competition. You ready, Michael?
I'm ready, let's do it.
So the rules are, we each have the identical kit of Lego bricks and pieces, but we don't have an image of the car. We don't have the map of the race car. So Michael's gonna start with his kit, I'm gonna start with mine. We'll put 5 minutes on the clock, and we both have to build the race car as best we can with no prior instructions, no images, no pictures to go off of. And when 5 minutes is up, whoever race car looks the best or is the closest to being completed wins. Do you have any questions?
No, I do not.
Do you want to wish me luck?
Yeah, I'll wish you luck. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh.
Yeah, don't.
Oh, I gotta go with that.
Well, I'm already off to a good start as Michael has dropped all of his pieces. Who's your biggest inspiration in the racing world?
Oh, that's a big question.
I know, I'm trying to distract you from beating me at this.
I'll have to say, like most drivers, Ayrton Senna is
Senna?
Yeah.
Yeah?
He's my...
He's your idol?
Yeah, I guess we could say that.
Yeah, okay, so you want to be like Senna someday and just be the crazy fanatic who never gives anyone a chance but wins all of his races, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I dig that.
I screwed up again.
Oh my God, this is difficult. And that's gonna do it on the clock here in our, you are finished, okay?
No, I'm not.
5 minutes ended 25 minutes ago, all right? So this competition was doomed from the get-go. I didn't know that Michael came to this with a bunch of experience as a Lego race car building fanatic when I suggested this competition. I regret suggesting this competition terribly. Do you feel bad at all for not confessing to us earlier that you know how to do this?
No.
You should.
Kick your butt.
So we're gonna cut before I get sad. Michael D'Orlando unfortunately wins this challenge. Michael D'Orlando, congratulations, you won this round.
Thank you.
The on-track action got off to a very fast start here at IMS. As soon as we got to the track Friday morning, Rob, plenty to do.
Yeah, after testing and practice on Thursday, we went into qualifying, and Cape Motorsports came out strong, getting the poles for both races in USF 2000 and Pro Mazda. Kyle Kirkwood getting the job done in USF 2000, and Oliver Askew coming back to get 2 poles in Pro Mazda. Oliver goes on to set another track record in Pro Mazda, the PM18 So Good. Oliver now owns the track record in both USF 2000 and Pro Mazda here.
Not a surprising fact after you think about how he dominated this weekend 1 year ago in USF 2000, and then when you move up to Pro Mazda, you look at the young British driver Harrison Scott coming off that wet and wild race in Alabama a few weeks ago to scoring the win here in Indianapolis in much different conditions.
Yeah, Harrison Scott, they got the momentum. RP Motorsports Racing, a brand new team here on the Mazda Road to Indy. They win in Barber, like you said, in the wet conditions. They come back and they're able to score another victory here. I think you have to put Harrison Scott in the championship chase for 2018.
Oh, absolutely. Scott certainly throwing his hat in the ring for the championship fight in Pro Mazda. And then, as always, Indy Light. The on-track action there has been so intense. Every time they flew down into turn 1, it was anybody's chance to score the whole shot in the race lead at the start.
Think about this racetrack, the road course at IMS. It's just so crazy going into turn number 1. We were 4 wide, but the bottom line is you can pass here, and we saw some drivers come from deeper in the field and work their way to the front. It was just great racing in Indy Lights.
Racing on the Mazda Road to Indy presented by Cooper Tires is always fantastic, but there's just something a little bit sweeter about it when you're here at home at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. In other words, if Kyle goes to McDonald's or something and you guys get in some trouble, you're going to defend him and defend his honor, right?
Yeah, I'll defend all my teammates. You know.
That's got to make you feel good. He's willing to go to bat for you.
It feels amazing, honestly. Like, no words can describe that. That can't.
No words at all?
Except for those ones, of course.
I want to get to know a little bit about your teammate, Michael D'Orlando, from you. Can you describe him in just a few short words? See, you said you wouldn't laugh.
He's adorable and lighthearted.
Have you seen how bad Keith Donegan is at playing beach volleyball?
I have not. Might have to play him, give him a chance.
You got to play him, and then you got to watch the first episode of our show from St. Pete because a big fatty like me was able to beat him. Is that surprising?
Nah, he's from Ireland. He doesn't know the beach, the sun.
Yeah. What's the best part about being a Mazda Road to Indy driver?
Being able to talk to you in front of the camera. That's honestly, that's what I look forward to every weekend.
Really, is it?
Yeah, it makes me laugh.
Explain to me what qualifies someone to be lighthearted versus perhaps, say, heavy-hearted.
I guess he's just pretty, go with the flow, well, I just landed on my head, but that's okay. And, yesterday, maybe it was 2 days ago, I watched him eat an entire Chipotle burrito bowl and then stab it with a plastic knife through the plastic bowl and then put it on his head. So I think that moment really describes Michael D'Orlando.
Hi, race fans. I'm Rob Howden, back for another Road to Indy Insider segment. Lots going on here, of course, the month of May at Indianapolis. We're now looking forward to the Freedom 100. 2 really good insider tips for the 500 right now is the fact that we have a couple of oval racers coming to play here in Indy Lights. USAC star Chris Windham will be running for Velarde Auto Racing, and Davey Hamilton Jr., who had made his debut in Indy Lights a couple of years ago on the road course at Laguna Seca, will be driving for Team Pelfrey. He'll make his first start in the Freedom 100, following in the footsteps of his dad, Davey Hamilton, here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. One big piece of news at Indy Lights is that we lost one driver. Alfonso Solis, who was running for Uncos Racing, will not leave the team, but he will advance to the Verizon IndyCar Series. He'll take his program and will make his debut at Road America in June. Last bit of news coming from the USF 2000 paddock. Big story with Swan RJB Motorsports. They are coming out of the gate strongly here this year. Of course, Alex Barron, the young French driver, able to win at St. Petersburg. He wins here this weekend as well at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He actually had some visa trouble, but finally got it all handled, so he's good to go for the entire 2018 season. It's the second car at that team I want to talk about. James Rowe was amazing here this weekend, got a 5th in race number 2. I don't think we're going to see James back in 2018. He is committed to the F2000 Championship Series with Arms Up Motorsports, but there's a free car at Swan RJB that can win races and can be on the podium. A young driver looking to come in and sample USF 2000 this year ahead of a full program in 2019 would do well to call Merle Swan, because that car is definitely proven. That's all from the paddock right now. Remember, all the drivers on the Mazda Road to Indy are ready to go oval racing. Indy Lights at the Freedom 100, USF 2000 and Pro Mazda onto that fast 5/8 mile oval at Lucas Oil Raceway for the Carb Night Classic.
And with that, our first of 2 weekends here in Speedway, Indiana, come to a close. The racing on the Grand Prix circuit is done, and Rob, that means we shift our focus to a very highly anticipated weekend on the calendar, the oval racing here at Indianapolis.
It really is the biggest Indy Lights race of the year, the Freedom 100. Always tremendous to watch. It's Carb Day, 100,000 people, and always either 4 wide, 2 wide, at the very least, a run to the line for the race winner.
And then, of course, later on that night, Pro Mazda and USF 2000 drivers will take to the oval down the street here in Brownsburg, Indiana. Most of those drivers are going to be making their first oval race ever.
The Carb Night Classic at Lucas Oil Raceway, 5/8 of a mile, banked oval, high speed. They're running up against the wall. A really good experience for these young drivers. They have to have this talent if they want to go to the Verizon IndyCar Series.
So again, our first weekend here in Indiana is done. I'm looking forward to the oval racing. I know that I won't be touching a set of Lego bricks for as long as I can go, but thankfully we're gearing up for the most anticipated weekend of the year, oval racing back here. It's May in Speedway, and we can't wait. For everyone at Road to Indy TV, I'm Tony Laporta.
And I'm Rob Howden.
So until next episode, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you down the road.